Everyone, this is Mr. Brass, and today is another day of my Brass blog series. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about another topic that's been on my mind, and that is opera. Now, my knowledge of opera isn't really as extensive as one might think. I know one of my favorite movies and operas that have been out. It's more my favorite movie, but I guess it has been an opera before. It's Phantom of the Opera. I've always loved the singing, especially the mask of the main character. It's, the Phantom of the Opera is inside my mind. I've always liked those sort of songs. I remember when I was in high school, I was in my own, it wasn't an opera, it was more of a play, musical or something, where it was the cabaret, where I played a non-speaking role as a Nazi. Yeah, that's what I was. I was a Nazi. My job was literally I went in there and beat up one of the characters. It was fun. I got to wear a Nazi outfit. And I'm very well qualified to be doing that because I'm half German. I mean, that's going to offend some German people. But I don't care. I'm half German. I can say that. But I think that it just sucks that people don't have as much of appreciation for opera as it used to be. I remember when opera used to be something that it was known that people would strive to want to see. Now it's more played up as snooty, and that only bland white people like it, which I think is disappointing. I definitely think that there's a theme that I definitely think there's a feeling that more people could get involved in. I think that people should invest more in culture, and opera definitely plays a good part in culture. If anything else, I think people should watch Phantom of the Opera and the Cabaret. I think both of those are worthwhile pursuits. And I just overall think it sucks that we've come to a time in culture where the more sophisticated stuff like classical music and high style learning isn't really in there. Now, I know this is sort of a normalcy bias where we only really remember the past for the good stuff that was in it. I'm sure 90% of everything in the past, all the music in the past was bullshit. But, the 10% that we know of got more recognition, so that's all we know about today. So I'm sure there was plenty of people back then that said, the vast majority of our songs suck ass. But, Bach, Mozart, those are good ones. So, I imagine that that was definitely some of them. But it at least has the reputation of where it's high style, high class, and I think, especially when they can convert some of those songs into more modern genres of rock and roll, it becomes even greater. Because I think it becomes more relatable and it makes people more interested in going back to the original production. Listening to funeral marches and how those have often been played in operas also really takes my mind back to, just classical art. And I think we as a culture could stand to do better to get more in touch with that sort of more primitive side of ourselves and do some honor to our ancestors. Well, that is all for today. This is Mr. Brass saying goodbye and get wise.